worried. How many employees do you have in your
at the moment,
roughly about?
Yeah, we have about 30 full-time employees, and we also have some casuals that we would bring in as the job requires it, and probably, let's say, we have another 30 on the standby and so on.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. And then you said something that the dream began from the bedroom. From a bedroom. Yeah. That was a remark you made.
Yeah.
We'll come back right to you and you'll tell us how that began in the bedroom.
Right.
Tabali, tell us about your encounters in life growing up, coming up to this ladder to be somebody. You're a director, you're a writer, you're a mentor, I heard, which is very good for young people. So what are some of the things that you had to go through to be you today?
Long story. I'll keep it short. There was a very inspiring account by Mr. Dembele of his growing up to being what he is, and he's an employer. I find that very inspiring. I hope to be one day. But for now, I was born in Banjul. I grew up in Lamin Village, Combo North, and of course went through St. Peter's Primary and high schools.
Right.
Played football like any other kid. Stole mangoes and maize like any other kid would do in the provinces. Mm-hmm. And then occasionally maybe smoked as this banter, some steak.
But
that we did, but I mean, just showing the human side of me. I grew up like any other kid. Mm-hmm. Thankfully, I still don't smoke anything,
good for you.
Whatever it is. Went through high school, St. Peter's, then Gambia High. 94, I graduated, end of the road. I'm from a very poor family. They can't pay for me. There was no university in the Gambia. Scholarships prior to 94, you got to be extraordinarily lucky or extraordinarily well connected to get them. So I sat down at home from 1994 playing football. I could not get a scholarship. I could not get a job. Until in November 1995, when the then Armed Forces Provisional Ruling Council established the first university education program in this country.
That is the university extension.
That evolved into our current University of the Gambia.
Right.
So I took the bold decision to join when virtually nobody wanted to join because they thought it was an exercise in futility. But 4 years later, I was privileged to be part of the first ever batch of home-trained university graduates to graduate in this country. And as President Jammeh said, for the first time since God made this country. That was February 1999. By September, I was employed as an economic statistician at the Central Bank of the Gambia.
Well done, good for you. And is that what inspired the book Jangi Jollof?
Absolutely. When we finished in 99, a couple of friends thought that this was a great story. I'm not sure something like that ever happened anywhere in the world the way we did it here. It was novel. So somebody said, if we don't write about this story, somebody else would. So I hit the keyboard, bought a battered laptop somewhere, and then after a year or two, I had a manuscript, Jangi Jollof, a memoir on the Gambia's first university program.
Right.
That was published in 2005.
Right. In the Gambia, we have so many young people. We have, I mean, the people who are less privileged, In some families, it is standard. It's a basic need to go to university. Right. Like you're born, you go to primary, wherever you go up, and then university. So when you're in grade 11 or 12, you can't talk about marriage because university is there. That's something that you have to go through as well. But then on the other hand, you have people who are less privileged, living from hand to mouth. They'll have to, go to school, government schools, obviously, because it's easier to get into them, when it comes to finances and whatnot. So it's easier for them to do that. But then grade 9, going to high school is a problem, And then even when they get to grade 12, they really can't see themselves going any further than that as to receiving formal education, going to university. Now these people, most of these people are very talented. They're young people with potentials and skills. What are they supposed to do? Like, are they supposed to use what they have at that moment in time to be better, to be successful and grow? Or are they just supposed to sit and wait for that golden opportunity to go abroad, or just wait for something to happen, a miracle kind of thing? What are some of these things? Because I have a problem. I see young people sitting down. I mean, I know you have like a little table. You can start selling sweets. You know, if you have, let's say, if you make profits out of that, you can always get, you know, capital somewhere, loan somewhere, maybe from a bank or from a business entrepreneur. You've been there. If somebody comes to you and say, I need a loan of 5,000 or 10,000, I want to, like, you know, build up my business. It's a risk, but you will be very tempted to support the person. But many young people are not doing that, you know. So it's very frustrating when you see talents like the future of this country, people just sitting down and then waiting for a miracle to happen. What were your inspirations?
Yeah.
What made you to like drive? I'm like, I'm not stopping. Dad wants me to join the business. Fine, his university. But what was the drive? What was the drive?
What I would say is the opportunity is buried in you.
Right.
You have to dig deep, and you have to reveal what it is that you want to do. You have to believe.
Yep.
You have to check around you. Even with hardship, with all the difficulties that you might be going through, those are a recipe to get you built up, to get you prepared, so you can be ready for success. Success doesn't come easy. It wouldn't be handed over to you. You have to get up and earn it. And what I see, the nature about a lot of young people in Gambia and so on, sometimes they are hungry, they really want to be successful, but I don't believe like the support system is working really well.
You mean that is the environment, you know, motivating them family-wise and
right. You don't have to, yeah, because not throwing cash at them and all of that stuff and so on.
But that moral support.
That moral support. From the beginning, you have to tell that kid, you're going to be successful, you're hardworking, you're smart. You know, give them that moral support. So that's like the basis. And when we start growing up and getting into whatever business ventures we want to get into, is for the community to support. For example, if it's beads that we're doing, these prayer beads,
yeah,
and we have this kid, you know, around the corner, and he's doing beads for everybody in the neighborhood. If everybody buys from that kid, that's an encouragement. He's going to take it to the next level.
But then now that's the problem, because you see people, they might start something. I have a guy on my street. He's a tailor. You know, he's the typical example. You know, from a very humble family, and you know could not go to school. He's a tailor, but then nobody goes to him.
Yeah. And
it's frustrating. He has a shop at home, you know, very spacious, you know, and then he has his machines and everything, but then no one goes to him.
No, you don't.
This is the problem.
Right, but again, you don't wait for people to come to you.
Okay.
You don't, the market, you need to go and get the market. You need to be out there, and you need to do things so differently. You need to give people the offer too that they can't reject. And everybody, it doesn't matter how rich they are, how poor they are, you can always have that sense of partnership. That's what I believe. There's always that sense of partnership, but you need to be bold and package your ideas well, you know, and get ready and present it out there with that conviction that you're going to be successful, and people will come to you.
All right.
You know.
Thoroughly. Did you at any point during this journey, getting up to this stage today, did you at any point feel that this is it? You can't just do it.
It does happen. If I said it never happened, I am lying. Because we have a problem in this country. Sometimes we invite somebody on TV, he says, oh, it was wonderful, I started, I did this, I never gave up, never had a down moment. No, it's not true. We all have our challenges, but as is it's persistence. I have had points when I said, okay, even at the university, okay, will this work? Maybe I should quit. But then you sit down a week later and you thought, okay, I'm going to try it.
By the way, I started the university and then I left after 3 months.
Wow. And then you came back?
Yeah.
No, not really, but long story. Long story, yeah.
But those moments do happen. But I know that maybe if I have a down moment today, I'm not very optimistic, I can say, okay, I'm going to quit my job. Which even